Hello, my name is Claire Brianza, and I am with the Ocoee High School FFA chapter. And today, for my demonstrated talk, I'm going to be talking about the harmful plants to cattle. So, first of all, keeping cattle is a big responsibility, and to make sure they are safe, you need to make sure they are not eating dangerous plants. Symptoms that a cow has consumed a poisonous plant are diarrhea, vomiting, dilated pupils, altered pulse rate, labored breathing, coffee-colored urine, uncoordinated, bleeding, skin ulcers, muscle spasms, paralyzation, and death. Most of the time, cattle will not eat poisonous plants because they do not want to, but if they do, make sure to remove any plants harmful to cattle if you're going to keep a cow in that area, because we do not want a sick cow. That is not good. Okay, so the first plant we are going to talk about are azaleas. So all of the parts of the plant are toxic, so no matter what the cow eats, it will cause damage. So the reason it is toxic is because it has glycosides in it and it affects the stomach and intestines. So the symptoms that your cow has consumed this plant are nausea, weakness, and they're salivating. So that means like saliva and stuff. Death is rare, therefore most cattle will recover without getting treatment, but death is rare. That does not mean it cannot happen. So if you see like these symptoms in your cow, you might want to get help. So the next plant we are going to talk about is a bracken fern. The whole plant is toxic, but mostly the roots. So the roots will cause more damage than the rest of the plant. The toxin it produces is diamines, and in cattle it can cause hemorrhaging. Hemorrhaging is uncontrolled bleeding. It could be internal and external, so that can be bad because the cow may bleed out. The symptoms in a cattle are swelling and bloody waste, so bloody poop. To control these bracken ferns, you must mow, use Samarin, or you can spot treat with Gladiphase. The next plant is a lantana. These are pretty, but they are toxic. So the toxic part of a lantana is the whole plant, so no matter what the cow eats, it will cause damage. The toxin in the plant is lantanin. Symptoms that your cow has eaten a large amount could be acute toxicity, and symptoms that the cow has ate lower amounts is mouth sores and skin cracking. So recovery is rare. So if a cow eats this, it's not likely it will recover. So to control these, you have to remove them. Lantanas are commonly found along fence rows and tree lines. So if you think you might have those, you might want to look. Even if you don't think you have them, still look. Okay. The next plant is Coffeecina. Coffeecina. The whole plant is toxic, but mostly the seeds. So again, the seeds cause more damage. The toxin in Coffeecina is unknown. The symptoms are wasting or dark brown urine. So if you see that, you want to get help for your cow. To control these plants are to mow after frost or herbicides. That will be the best way to remove. The next plant is Crotalaria. The toxin in Crotalaria is monocrotaline, and symptoms that the cow has consumed this plant are weakness and confusion. So like if they can't get up or like they're confused, That's a symptom. And jaundice is yellowing of the skin or whites of the eyes. That will happen due to liver damage that may occur. The animal may die months after consumption, so if it has consumed it a few months before, it might die a few months later. And to control is to repeat mowing and use herbicide. That will help. In conclusion, cattle do not usually want to eat toxic plants, so don't be worried that, oh my gosh, my cow's going to eat these toxic plants. No, just remove them. They do not want to eat them. So to keep them from eating them is fencing so that their area is limited, weed management to get rid of those toxic plants, and mowing. It will help make sure your cow is safe. So to keep your cow safe, follow those steps. Now remember, cattle do not always want to consume a poisonous plant. But if they do, and you see symptoms, you might want to call a vet out there to help take care of the animal to make sure it does not die. So the symptoms that your cow has consumed, again, are diarrhea, vomiting, dilated pupils, altered pulse rate, labored breathing, coffee-colored urine, uncoordinated, bleeding, skin ulcers, muscle spasms, and paralyzing. Make sure the cow gets treated with veterinary assistance before it's too late. Thank you for listening to my demonstrated talk. I hope you learned something about poisonous plants to cattle, and make sure you keep your cow safe.